Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren and welcome to Plants and Things. In today's video, we are going to be talking about a couple Amazon products that have really changed the way that I do plants. Like sometimes you find a product and it could be really simple, but that one product can just be a game changer for you. And it's just a few things because you guys probably know I get a lot of my planting products from Amazon because they have everything. We know they're taking over the world. Therefore, I have so many things from them, but these are the ones that really made a difference in my plant life. This is gonna be rating review style. I will be rating these products based on like quality of the product and durability and overall value. So it's gonna be 1 out of 5, obviously, and it's just gonna be a 1 category rating of an overall greatness or my love for the product. So let's just get right into it. The very first product, and don't click off when you see it, just stick with me, okay? The first product is neem oil, but not just any neem oil. Just give me a second, wait. It's pure neem oil, okay? And listen, I was for sure one of those planty people back in the day that was like, neem oil don't work. I don't know about you naturopath people, and I'm all about natural stuff, but the neem oil just wasn't doing it for me, but I was doing it wrong. And matter of fact, I'm not even gonna lie, I hadn't even tried it. I didn't try it because every time I saw someone using it, they were saying it wasn't working. And when I was reading about how it worked, I'm like, of course that's why it doesn't work. But I had never actually used it. So until I actually used it and used it properly. So let me tell you, if you use neem oil before and it hasn't worked for you, you're probably using it wrong. I'm just gonna say it. You're probably using it wrong, because I too, for very good reasons, was like, I'm not convinced. I'm just not convinced. And it wasn't until I got tired of dragging my big behind Alocasia Regal Shield to the shower once a week to treat it for spider mites that I said, we gotta try something else. So I got this little mix of what to use, like what to mix with the neem oil, and it's so simple. I did not create this. There's plenty of people out here on YouTube, the gram, that uses this mix. I learned it from Dave, and it's basically just some water, neem oil, and dish soap. But the thing is, which a lot of people complained about in the past, is why neem oil doesn't work, because there's so many products that say neem oil, pesticide, blah, 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 and it's like very little neem oil in it. That's why you gotta get you the pure stuff. And you know it's pure because of how thick it is and how bad it smells. So it just smells like rotten peanuts is what it smells like. I'm gonna try to not make a mess here, but do you see how thick that is? You see the chunks? Like, it's thick. We made a mess. Okay, we fixed it, we caught it. And I'm gonna put it on the plant mat so it don't get on my carpet. But the point is that it's super thick, and that's how you know it's the real stuff. And what it was, why I wasn't trying it from Amazon, was because I wasn't sure if you could actually find pure neem oil on Amazon. I'm thinking that, like, you know, you need to have the hookup with the oil lady or something to get you the real stuff. And that's why what people get on Amazon doesn't work. But that is apparently not true. That is pure neem oil, and it does work. So I will hopefully either have it on the screen or we'll throw up on the screen and me mixing it up. It's so easy. And the first plant that I tried it on was my Alocasia Regal Shield. Like I said, I was tired of trying to treat it, and it's big. That plant is big, and then it's in a big heavy clay pot. And I was like, I can't do this again. You know, so once you treat it, I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure I treated that plant months ago, like the beginning of the summer, and I have not seen another spider mite since then. When I tell you it's gone, eradicated, never seen it again, never. And all I have to do now is spray the new leaves as they come, which honestly, I don't really keep up with. I was at first because I was scared the spider mites was gonna come back, but they haven't come back, and so I haven't sprayed the new leaves recently. If I do start to see some, I will again. But there was a time when they were kind of all throughout my plants and I did the same thing. I just sprayed them down real well, rinse them first, clean them, rinse them first in the shower, and then apply that spray and just leave it. You don't wipe it off. And it leaves a nice little glow, little shine. You guys have asked me in the past how do I get my leaves so shiny. It's that neem oil mix. The soap is what kind of, what they call it, emulsifies it so that you can actually mix it up and spray it on your leaves. And I'm telling you, if you've used it in the past, you ain't do it right. You didn't do it right, or your issue was beyond it. Like, which is also really kind of hard, because when I say my allocations was infested, they were infested with spider mites. So I don't know. If only explanation is you probably didn't use it right, because that has literally eradicated. I have not had any pest issues since then. Like, I'm lying. I had 2 appearances of mealybugs, but it was on that daggone carnosa that I knew was going to give me a mealybug, and it did. So, and I think I saw one on the other little carnosa, but that's it. Besides those, I have not had not one pest since then. No spider mite, no thrip, no nothing. Like, literally nothing. And I probably sprayed down, I can't say half. I probably sprayed down maybe like 40% of my collection at one time, but it wasn't, but they were kind of like big chunks of plants within an area where I have a lot of plants. And listen, it has just made plant life so much easier because I'm not constantly worried about pests. Like, and I'm not constantly doing pest prevention or pest control. There's nothing to prevent or control. We're just out here living and enjoying our plant life, which is what we want to do, right? So when I say it was a game changer, life changing, baby, spider mite who? Spider mite where? Let me not speak, because watch now, I'm gonna find spider mites or something on my plants. But that's how confident I feel, because like, I really haven't had an issue. And with allocations of all plants, I do need to check my fry deck though, because it finally put out a new leaf and them be attracting them spider mites too. So I'm gonna check that as well. But listen, I am very, very happy with my experience using neem oil. And besides the smell, if the smell really, really bothers you, you could put some essential oils in there to help, you know, distract you from the smell. I just push through. I don't know if it's because I'm a dental hygienist. I'm used to sometimes having foul smells, you know, around me, and I just push through. So yeah, it don't really faze me like that. So if you haven't guessed already, pure neem oil, again, make sure it's pure. Pure neem oil gets a 5 out of 5 for me, 5 stars all the way, because that little bottle, I believe, was about $12 to $13, and I've used it, like I said, I've used it on quite a bit of my plants, and I still have about half the bottle left. You don't need much. In my little bottle, I was at first putting 3 capfuls, and they was making the plants real shiny, you know, and it wasn't really a problem until after a while. I don't know if you've ever like had a lot of like Vaseline on or something like shea butter on, and then you might like go out and stuff and you get like little dust attracted to you, and that's what happened. Some of the plants, I'll throw it up on the screen, they had a nice thick layer, and then eventually it attracted dust. So it just looks a little funny. It just could be wiped off pretty easily. It's not causing any issues, but that is possible if you make it a little too thick. So for my little bottle that you guys saw, I only put 2 capfuls now, but you can do, you know, just, you know, eyeball it with your size bottle, and you can kind of use mine as a reference. The next Amazon plant product that I found to be a game changer for me is my corner shelves that I use in my greenhouse cabinet. And those corner shelves I love because there are tons of IKEA cabinet products, but these for me are just perfect for the size cabinet that I have. And I think that's a little different for a lot of people, because a lot of people have the wide cabinets or the bigger ones, and I chose a smaller one just because I wanted to keep more space in my room. And for that, it was a little bit harder to try to get more space, you know, in that cabinet. And so those corner shelves really helped me maximize the space in such a narrow cabinet. So instead of adding a full, you know, a second, or how many shelves in there? 2, there's 2. So instead of adding like one, like way in the middle that like cuts it in half, I can put the corner one and it still allows for some plants, some taller plants on the side, along with having something a little bit closer, you know, to the light. So some people use risers. I don't really have to use the risers because I have those corner shelves, and so they work perfectly. And it's nice that they're acrylic because they're clear, they're not, you know, aesthetically unpleasing, so they look good, and they are very strong. Okay, don't let, if you guys, so these corner shelves are actually shower shelves. So if you've ever seen those shower shelves or those shower TikTok things that they be talking about, all those shelves you can put in your shower, those things are strong, okay? And it's because it's for moisture. It's built for that. So it's perfect for your greenhouse where you're probably gonna have a little bit moisture in there. So you don't have to worry about magnets. Do you have the right amount of magnets to hold the weight that it might have? Like, you don't have to worry about any of that, because those things, when I say it's not going nowhere, it's not going nowhere. And you might find that as a con, because it's like, how you gonna get it off and move it around? I don't know. I don't know if it could be. I'm sure it could be removed. I just haven't tried. I like peeled the corner for a little bit to see, and it wasn't budging. So it's good because nothing's gonna fall, but you might, I don't know how to take it off. I'm pretty sure it came with instructions on how to remove it, but I was like, I'm probably never gonna remove it, so I just threw the instructions out. But you might want to keep that if you're someone who likes to change around your cabinet a lot. I do like them, like I said, because they're so easy to put in there. Those two strips, you just slap them on, and the shelf itself has the little openings in order to hang it, and then you screw that little screw in to secure it. And so I like that it kind of comes on a line, right? It's not like exactly lined up, because then it can be kind of hard to make sure each sticky label is lined up properly. But when you have that gradient on there, you don't even have to worry about it. No measuring necessary. You just slap it up there. They do say to give it a day before you add weight to it. So I just gave it a day, and then the next day I put the plants on it, and it was fine. And you guys know I use glass containers with ponds, so that combination could be very heavy with water also. So I only use small pots, of course, because the space there is pretty small, so I put most of my Hoyas up there. But still, it's very, very sturdy. It can be wiped clean very easily. I just use like a little vinegar with water and a water bottle to clean it, and it's perfect. One other thing is that those shower shelves come in all different styles. I just picked the clear acrylic one, but they have them in black, they have them rectangular, and they all kind of have that same mounting system. Some have a little bit of a hook mounting system rather than the spinny little knob, but you can mix and match them. So if you go to you pick the same company, and of course all the links will be in the description, and you want a different size or different shape shelf, but it has the same mounting system, get a different shelf and put it up there. So you have options with that. So for my final thoughts and rating on this item is, I love it, but I do understand that for some people, the fact that you can't easily change it up, remove it and move it around might be a con. So I'm gonna give it a 4 because I love it, it's perfect, but I do see how someone might feel like, that's nice, but, you know, so I am a little concerned, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little concerned about what it takes to remove that shelf. So the next product that I really love is my fertilizer, Jack's Houseplant Special. This is great. Now, I will preface this by saying this is only the second fertilizer plant food that I've ever tried, but usually I'm like, oh, this is great, but I want to try something else. Oh, this is great, but I'll try something else. I don't feel that way about this. So that's how I know I really like it, because I'm not interested in trying anything else. So with this, it is not a, you know, natural option for fertilizer, I will say that. However, they have several different formulas, so that is nice, because if there's something specific you're looking for, once you buy one of these, it comes with a little pamphlet and it tells you all the different formulas that they have and what they'll be good for. So I have a different formula as well, which I think is just the general one, and then I got this houseplant one, and that is because this it says that with the houseplant special, because you could get such rapid growth with their formulas, this houseplant special kind of focuses on when the plant grows, it won't grow such a long petiole to leaf ratio. So I said, that sounds good, why not? So I switched over to this one, and as you know, this one's pretty strong. This NPK value is 15, 30, 15. I forget what the middle number is. Is that phosphorus? phosphorus, yeah. I think so. Yeah, I think that one is, no, that one is nitrogen. I don't know. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Whichever one that one is pretty higher. And I feel like I think that one leans more towards development of the plant. I don't know, guys. It's been a long time since I researched fertilizers and came to the conclusion that I wanted to try this one. There's a reason that I chose this one based on the facts, but I just can't remember it right now. So I'm gonna just throw it up on the screen for you. So to give you a few more details about this fertilizer, it is water soluble and it also has micronutrients as well. So not just the NPK or those macronutrients, but also the micronutrients like iron and zinc and magnesium. All of that stuff is also in here as well. So yeah, iron, copper, manganese, boron, all that good stuff that plants need is all formulated into here. So you probably really don't need any extra additives to your fertilizer unless there's something like mycorrhizal or something like that. That's different, but it's an all-in-one, and you know I like to keep it simple with an all-in-one. So Jack's Houseplant Special is what I am loving. It makes everything easier. I did like using liquid dirt, however it was a little too much. The mix to dilute. This is easier. I love my plant life, but I want it to be simple. I want to spend most of my time enjoying the plants, you know, potting them and all that, not all the other background stuff, that pests and all that stuff that's not as fun. So when I make my fertilizer water, I'll throw it up on the screen. It's 1, 2, 3. Okay, you get your water, you get your fertilizer, you shake it up, and you're done. And it's not something I have to think much about at all because I do mostly semi-hydroponics. I just use it in every single watering. If you don't prefer to do that, or you are someone that just kind of takes your plants to the sink and you water it that way, then whenever you do decide to do it, you will use it according to their recommended measurements. And another nice thing, which you probably saw in the video, is that it comes with a little measuring cup. You don't even gotta think about it. You don't have to buy an extra little pipette. You don't got to get you a separate little measuring cup. It comes with it. So I love that. I love that it already is like everything in one. I bought this container like, did I buy it last year? I either bought it last year or very early this year. I don't want to make a mess, but I just want to show y'all how much is still in the container. And I use this with every single watering for all my plants. The only plant I don't use it on is my mom's magnolia tree, but all of my plants. And now at this point, you guys will have seen in the video, I use the water jug. That's what I use to make all my water and water all my plants. I probably use 4 of those to water all my plants once a week. Now, a couple weeks ago, we was watering the plants twice a week. Thankfully, we're not on that schedule anymore, and the plants are making it a week without needing to be watered again. So I was doing that twice a week. That amount of, you know, fertilizer water is what I was making, and we still have so much left. So this is a 5. If I could give it a 10, I know we're on a 5-star rating, but I want to say 10 out of 10 recommend because it's easy. I think this was only $15 and it works very well. Anytime I do propagations and I put a reservoir of water with the propagations, whether it's perlite, leca, whatever I decided to use, or just straight water, I always have this in it. So I don't really use any other things like rooting hormones or Super Thrive or anything like that. I literally only use this, and I think I've only ever had like 2 plants that just wouldn't root for me. Like they just would not root. And other than that, I've had no issues with this. I don't think I've experienced any type of like burning from the fertilizer or deforming leaves. I was gonna say deformation, but that means something different. Any deformity, that's what I'm looking for. Any deformity of leaves from insufficient nutrients or anything like that. I did for a moment try Cow Mag, and if you're gonna use, you can use this with other additives. Let me say that. You can use this with other additives, but you want to follow the instructions for your additives first, because usually you have to mix that up first and then add your fertilizer. I do use it with purified water from my Brita filter. You can use distilled water, you can use water from the sink, you can use whichever water you feel most comfortable with. I use purified water only because in my mind, I feel like the less stuff in there, the better, but I'm not buying distilled water. Like, I'm just not doing that. I already told y'all I use like 3 to 4 jugs a week with watering on one day a week. So ain't no way we're buying distilled water for the plants. So purified, you know, I feel at peace using that. I probably would use just regular water as well if I didn't have the Brita filter, but I have it, so I use it. My next Amazon plant find is more of a decor item and less of a plant care item, and that is my Jofami wall planter. I am really getting into like planty decor and not just plant furniture, which I'm gonna say it's different. I'm gonna say it's different because decor adds a little more art element to it, and it's more like a part of your home and not just a piece of furniture that your plants are sitting on. So either way, I really like this one company, Jofami. They did provide these products for me to use and review and see how I like them, and particularly I love the wall planter. I probably showed it to you guys before, but what I really like about Jofami is that they have so many different like styles of decor, right? Like there's like the bohemian, the boho chic vibe, and then there's the modern, or there's traditional. And in my apartment, it's very industrial modern style. You know, everything is kind of black, not, well, the hardware, all the hardware is kind of black, the cabinets are black, you know, and the high ceilings with the exposed, you know, things like that. So it's a more industrial, raw, modern style, and so sometimes that's kind of hard to find in plant decor. You know, boho chic takes over the plant decor world, but that's not really my vibe or my vibe of the apartment. So I like that they have both aspects. So even this planter that I'll probably have up on the screen, or I will have showed you guys, or you'll see it in the thumbnail, it comes with options of ropes as well. So if you don't like that metal and that's not really your style, it comes with rope options, and they have another plant hanger that's more of like a wooden natural style with the rope as well. I don't think they have any macrame hangers, but they have just that type of style of plant decor. Of course, they have tons of pots and things like that. I did get, I'll put it up on the screen as well, a little like round circular plant stand from them, which I use for my mom's room. It doesn't really go in my room, but it's a nice dark cherry wood. Like, it's a nice cherry wood and it has several levels. It's a little short, and my mom did say, she's like, oh, it's a little smaller than I expected. I wanted it to be a little taller, but I think it's fine because it's at the level of the window. Thankfully, we have pretty low windows. Like, they come almost ceiling to like 3/4 to the floor. So it's still pretty good eye line for the sun, and you can put, because it's open, you know, you can put different size planters. You don't have to worry about, is my plant too big for the holder, which is always my thought. Anytime I buy a plant shelf or plant furniture, I'm like, how big of a plant can it hold? Because I don't want a plant shelf or a plant hanger or whatever and be restricted, because what's the point? And a lot of my plants are getting super tall. So that I like about it as well, and it has a different level, so that gives it some artistic, you know, design to it. It's not just a shelf, you know. So I really appreciate these different items because it just kind of opens up my mind to decor, and in terms of more like on the wall, you know, and not just furniture stuff. We have a whole idea of our whole entire kitchen wall, what we want to do to put different types of plants, mounted plant holders and things like that. So we're going to be working on that. That's going to be like a project and a half, but that's what I really like about this company, Jofami, is they have tons of different styles. So there's probably something there for everybody. I would have liked to see more self-watering pots. I do like their self-watering pots, but they are white, and I think I'm leaning more towards a black pot. So I like the function, but not so much the style. They did also send me, I'll put it up on the screen, a plant stand, and again, it has that nice modern style to it, and it's convertible, so you can make it a double plant stand holder or just one, tall or short. So I like that it's adjustable for sure, because my begonia, I'm looking at it now, Sinbad, it's a beast. It's a beast, and I had to take it off of where it used to live on that shelf there, which was supposed to be for my tall plants, but it's literally like getting so wide, it's taking up half the shelf. So I had to get it on the floor in its own floor planter, and so that came just in time. So I'm very happy with that. So I do have a discount code, I believe 10% off. So if there's anything on their website you're interested in, I would say check it out, even if you don't like anything that I've showed you, because like I said, there's tons of stuff on there. So still check it out. They have a separate website and they have the Amazon store. I guess I'll link both in the description below. And then I have, like I said, the 10% discount code. So feel free to check that out. So the last favorite Amazon plant find, game changer, life changing, plant life changer, all of that good stuff product is my grow lights. These light bulbs, they're not particularly grow lights, they are just light bulbs, but these light bulbs have been amazing. I only really used one of them. I wanted to use both, but I've only been using one. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard sometimes to understand grow lights and light bulbs and everything, because there's so many specs, right, on a light bulb. So it's like, which spec do you need to know? Like, which spec actually affects the growth of my plant? So I'm gonna break it down in a very simple language, because this is what I understand, but I know it's not a very detailed understanding. So if you're looking for something way more detailed, please continue to do your research, but this is what I have found, which I've actually seen a big difference. So when I was looking for grow lights, I obviously wanted something to be as bright as possible, that's gonna produce a lot of light and energy for the plant, but also to be functional, right? So I like these because it's 360, so the light comes from all directions, so it doesn't matter, you know, which way it's facing necessarily. And because it's just a separate bulb, you can put it to any light. So that's like the biggest thing for me. I wanted to, again, have more like of my plants as a decor in my home, and not just like plants everywhere with grow lights everywhere, because sometimes grow lights are really not nice the way that they look, and they could be kind of ugly. So I got a nice lamp that goes with my space, and just put a bulb in there that's going to actually produce enough light and energy for my plant. So this bulb is, I believe, 5,000, let me check my notes, hold up, 5,000 kilowatts in terms of color temperature. So there's color temperature, and there's lumens, and there's wattage. Those are like the three things that I looked for. And it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard on Amazon, because obviously there's millions and billions of light bulbs on there, but not everybody's listing lists all three of those. Like, everybody's listing will have the, I think it's kilowatt, the color temperature. Every listing will say the color temperature, but not every listing will say the lumens. And so the listings that say the lumens are probably gonna be more effective, because they actually know that that's something that people need to know. So the lumens on this is 50, what I said? 56. I can't read my handwriting. The lumens on this is 5600, which is pretty bright. It is pretty bright. And now, compared to a bulb that I had before, I learned that it was only 300 lumens, and it looks nice. It looks like it's great, but it's not giving out a lot of energy. So the lumens is the amount of light or energy that it's producing. And so 5600 is this one, and that's quite bright. Now, the other thing that's to think about is, like I said, I think it's kilowatt. I hope I'm saying the right thing. 5,000, it's 5,000 K. So that is the color temperature, how bright white is gonna be, or is it gonna be more towards a yellow tone? So I like the white or the daylight tone, and so that's why I got 5,000. If you get anything a little less, it's gonna look a little warmer and more yellow. So if that's what you like, then you know not to go up to 5,000, which is daylight. And these are LED lights, which we know gives you more wattage without using more energy. So these are only 40 watt, but the amount of light it produces is as if it was a 300 watt light bulb. So I found the chart online. I'll put the chart up there, which makes it pretty easy to understand. You definitely want to go with an LED light, so you're not using as much energy, but you're still getting the most light possible. And this actually is kind of listed online as like a garage light bulb or a backyard light bulb. So that gives you an idea of how bright this can be if it's supposed to be for a garage or a backyard. So I have it, like I said, in my lamp. So because my lamp has a shade that's kind of like rounded, it does direct it into a certain place, so it's not going out everywhere. What I really want to do is put these in my ceiling lights. The only reason I can't use it in there is because my ceiling lights are a dimmable socket, and this is not dimmable. If you were to use these in your regular room lights, ceiling lights, you don't really need to buy separate grow lights unless you want your plants, unless you have smaller plants that you need it to be in more closer contact with the lights. But you can just use them in your regular ceiling and you will have 24-hour or surround room grow light access, you know, for your plants. So I like this idea of grow lights instead of, you know, the goose arm thing, which I still have one of because I don't have another lamp right now. I have to find another lamp that I like to do the same thing, but I like that because it just eliminates that. I do have the strips because I have cabinets, so I do need the strips for the cabinets. However, if it weren't for that, I would only use these and I would not have to have any other ugly grow light accessories. I have my Hoyas under them and they love them. They're starting to sun stress under them, so you know it's working. If it can sun stress a Hoya, you know it's working. So yeah, I really, really love these light bulbs. They have been great, and I think I got 2 for $20. It was $20, maybe $23 for 2. So that is all for my favorite Amazon plant products. All of the links to the products listed will be in the description. I usually always have them listed in there anyways, but for this video I will kind of separate them out so that they're easy to find. And just be aware as well that all of these links are affiliate links, so I may receive some small compensation or commission for anything that you purchase. So if you like to contribute to my channel, please feel free to click the links below, but you don't have to. You can just go on Amazon and search them however you'd like, but make sure you have what you need to do your plant life. Speaking of our plant life, you can check out this next video about Fluval versus Perlite.